Hello everyone, I'm Alexandra Adja. So for today, the topic is all about the Internet and the World Wide Web. Introduction. Every day, millions of people around the world use the Internet to search for and retrieve information on all sorts of topics in a wide variety of areas. The information can appear in several types of digital formats such as image, text, audio, or video. Individual companies, research lab, libraries, news organization, television, network, governments, and other organizations all make resources available. People communicate with each other, sharing information and making commercial and business transactions using electronic mail. All this activity is possible because tens of thousands of networks are connected to the Internet and exchange information in the same basic way. Never before has so much information from such a wide variety of sources and in so many formats been available to the public. So, the World Wide Web is not the same as the Internet, but the two terms are popularly used as synonyms. The web is the information connected or linked in a way that is like a spider web. Using a web browser, the computer programs or software that lets you access the World Wide Web, you can find information on almost any topic with just a few clicks of your mouse button. So, Internet is a global communication system that links together thousands of individuals' network. It allows exchange of information between two or more computers on a network. Thus, Internet helps transfer of images, messages through mail, chat, video, and audio conference, and etc. It has become mandatory for day-to-day activities, bills payments, online shopping, and surfing, tutoring, working, communicating with peers, and etc. It is said to be most fluid, cursive, and demanding type of communication medium that has brought dramatic changes in the way of people work and learn. The Internet offers a wealth of information ranging from primary source of material to study on just about everything.
So hello everyone, my name is Leia May Alima and my topic is all about the Internet and the World Wide Web. So we all know that Internet is one of the most important tools of communication. With the Internet, it's possible to access almost any information, communicate with anyone else in the world. You can do all of this by connecting a computer or a gadgets to the Internet. So by the Internet, it helps people learn various things and people get knowledge which they implement in their daily life. It helps people connect with each other socially. And also as a students, Internet is very helpful for us because it makes easier for us to research things and relearn the content taught in the school. And especially now that have a new normal, it really needs the Internet to be able to attend online class. So the next one is the World Wide Web. So the World Wide Web is an interconnected system of public web pages accessible through the Internet. So the web is not the same as the Internet. The web is an information system where documents and other web resources are identified by uniform resources locators or URL. So with these two, or the Internet and the web or the World Wide Web, it's connected the world in a way that was not possible before and made it much easier for people to get information, share, and communicate.
Good morning everyone, my name is Julian Asbadjang and today we will going to proceed to the historical development of the Internet and the World Wide Web. So we are now in the historical development of the Internet and the World Wide Web. On September 2, 1969, it was the marked birth of the Internet, and in the historical records tell us that the two computers communicated with each other. And on October 29, 1969, the message is sent from computer to computer in different locations. And in January 1, 1983, the ARPANET, or the Full Advanced Research Project Agency Network, adopted the standard TCP, or the IP protocol. After the 2 decades after the discovery of the Internet, Tim Berners-Lee invented World Wide Web in March 1989, and the first email was sent in 1971, and the Mosaic became the first web browser. The World Wide Web is the key to the development of the information age and is the principal tool that billions of people use today to interact with the Internet. And according to the infographics from social media monitoring platform, there are 3 eras to show the developmental of social media. First is the primitive era, second is the medieval era, and the last one is the golden era. And today I will going to explain the primitive era and the medieval era. So this, as we can see, in 1979, it was the Usenet, or the post-news to news groups, and on late 70s, the first site with login options for interaction is what we call the BBS, or the Bulletin Board System. In 1980, it was the CompuServe first chat introduced. In the 1984, it was the Prodigy Communications Corporation's pioneered online. And on 1988, it was the introduction to Internet Relay, chat, file sharing, link sharing, and keeping in touch. On November 1996 is the introduction to ICQ, or the multi-user messaging, or the multiplayer games made emoticons and abbreviations such as LOL, and it became famous. In 1997, it is the 6 degrees, or the glimpse of first social media, resembling the today's features like create profiles and add friends. And the last one is the 1999, or the Live Journal. It was the first introduced dynamic content at the blogs and forum, create groups, and interact. My partner, Mr. Arthur Batukal, we're going to explain the golden era and so on.
Thank you, partner. Again, my name is Arthur Nanias Batukal. My report is all about the golden era of social media. Year 2001, Wikipedia. The online free encyclopedia was launched. Year 2002, Friendster. Operating by allowing people to meet new people and increase their network. Year 2003, Hi-Fi. Included photo sharing, user group, and social gaming and status updates. Year 2013, MySpace. Provide private messaging, public comments posted to new user profile and bulletin, and sent to friends. 2004, Facebook. For Harvard University student use only. Year 2004, Orkut. Owned by Google, meet old new friends, rate friends, challenge and them, and etc. Year 2004, Flirk. Photo sharing and platform. YouTube. Year 2005, YouTube for organized video streaming, video sharing platform. Year 2005, Reddit, entertainment and social network platform. Year 2006, Facebook, best performing a social media platform, filled with 1.44 billion active user. Year 2006, Twitter, a microblogging platform with a question and answer format. Year 2007, Tumblr, live screening and microblogging platform. Year 2009, WhatsApp, used Androids and Windows-based application for personal and group chats. Year 2012, Snapchat. New platform for chatting by posting a pictures. Year 2012, Tinder. A social discovery application for iOS and Android devices. Year 2013, Vine, a multiple platform video sharing social application. And year 2014 is Fed, application, a social platform with live broadcast options. Again, my name is Arthur Nanias Batukal. I am the reporter of the Golden Era and social media.
Good day, everyone. I am Aryan Faye Banyaras, and my topic is all about basic web related terms and concepts. So, surfing and navigating in the internet can be miserable if one does not have familiarity with some basic internet related terms and concepts. I'm sure some of these words are already familiar to many of you, and you must have encountered or studied them in your computer subjects in basic education. Let's have a short of these terms. First is the bandwidth. Bandwidth connects the world to the web. It also refers to the amount of information your connection to the internet can carry, usually measured in bits per second. It also describes the maximum data transfer rate of a network or internet connection. So for example, is that a gigabit internet connection has a bandwidth of 1000 Mbps or 100 megabytes per second. And also an internet connection via cable modem may provide of 25 Mbps of bandwidth. And next is the ISP or Internet Service Provider. It is the company that provides you with access to the internet. An internet service provider is a company such as AT&T, Verizon, Comcast, or Bright House that provides internet access to companies, families, and even mobile users. ISPs use fiber optics, satellite, copper wire, and other forms to provide internet access to its customers. Next is the URL, or the abbreviation of Uniform Resource Locator. URL is the global address of documents and other resources on the World Wide Web. So, an example of URL is https://www.counterhope.com, which is the URL for the Computer Hope website. Next is the domain name. Domain name is a name that identifies a computer or computers on the internet. Next is the fold. Fold is the line past which someone has to scroll to see more content. Everything that shows up when a page first loads is above the fold and below, or after the fold refers to the content further down the page. This is a web-designed term. Next is the browser. Browser is the software you use to view web pages such as Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, and Internet Explorer. These are some of the more common browsers. Another one is the HTML or Hypertext Markup Language. HTML is a cross-platform language for creating and formatting web pages. Elements and tags are used to affect copy, images, sounds, frames, animations, and more. Next is the hyperlink. Hyperlink is an electronic connection between one web to either other web pages on the same website or internal linking or web pages located on another website or external linking. It is also alternatively referred to as a link and web link. Another one is the navigation. Navigation refers to the process by which users access information on the internet. Usually when we use the term, we're talking about the menus, links, icons, and buttons on your site, along with where they are and where they take a use. And the next one, I guess most of us familiar on yes, the PDF or the portable document format. The idea behind the PDF was to create a file format that is not dependent applications, software, hardware, or software for proper viewing. Every PDF file has a complete description of a document, including the text, format, graphics, and other information needed to display it. And lastly is the search engine. Search engine is a program that searches documents such as web pages, which are HTML documents, for specified keywords and returns the list of documents. A search engine has two parts, a spider and an indexer. So the first one is the spider. It is the program that fetches the documents, and the indexer reads the documents and creates an index based on the words or ideas contained in each document. There are other terms cited in the glossary of web terms, and all I mentioned are the basic terminologies every user, especially teachers and students, need to know to optimize the instructional value of the internet and the web. Thank you so much for listening, and now let us proceed to the next topic and to our next reporter. Thank you!
Good day everyone, my name is Hanisel Billy, and today I'll be going to discuss the instructional values of the internet and the web. So we all know that internet is increasingly being used for the delivery of educational material and distance education. It allows us to learn at our own pace. We can access the information at a time that is convenient for us, and it provides education to remote us that otherwise would not be able to travel to school because of this pandemic. In addition to that, the teacher will be challenged on how they are going to teach, what they expect of their students, and what they expect of themselves. Thus, teachers who want to improve their teaching effectiveness must be assisted in recognizing their own instructional values. In this era, when access to knowledge and information is just a touch away, delivery of education has dramatically transformed. There is so much talk about virtual schooling, and indeed, this has been what many schools, colleges, and universities worldwide are trying to face as the greatest challenge of the 21st century teaching and learning. The onset of online learning programs gained popularity and acceptance in the educational arena as another innovative approach in the business of education. In addition to that, Wikipedia is gaining legitimacy today in the academic world because it provides justification of the existence of the new information. So now let's proceed. The instructional values and benefits of the internet to the World Wide Web. So we have access to knowledge and information. So when we say access to knowledge and information, it is the ability for an individual to seek, receive, and impart information effectively to ensure that students have equal and equitable opportunities to take full advantage of their education. So number 2, we have access to instructional resources. So it is used by the teachers in teaching and learning situation to help achieve the desired objective. So one of the example of access to instructional resources is the printed materials such as textbooks to non-books resources. So let's proceed. Extended learning opportunities. So when we say extended learning opportunities, it gives the students and the teachers to explore new learning opportunities outside outside the traditional classroom, and it allows students to engage in experiences that teach the skills they will need to succeed personally and professionally. So let's proceed to support lifelong learning. So when we say support lifelong learning, it is the process of gaining knowledge and learning new skills throughout your life that you can use on your future career. However, it is best described as being voluntary with the purpose of achieving personal fulfillment. Support computer-based instruction. So it is any curricula in which students interact with the computer as a key element of the learning process. So now let's proceed. Support delivery of distance learning program. So when we say support delivery of distance learning program, like for example, student can choose when, where, and how they learn by selecting the time, place, and medium for their education. And the teacher can use video conferencing and other apps in order for them to deliver their lesson. So now let's proceed to promote, facilitate, support other academic functions such as enrollment, access to program of institution, and serve as communication channel between and among parents, teachers, and students. Example of this is the RMMC, in which they can facilitate enrollment and clearance through online. So lastly, we have support social media apps such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and others. So what does it mean? So meaning it provides students with the ability to get more useful information, to connect with learning groups and other educational systems that make education continue. So that's it, everyone. Thank you and God bless.
Good morning everyone, I am Rosine Tikanaban. So today we are going to tackle about the website evaluation criteria. Website evaluation criteria. When we say website, it's a collection of web pages and related content that is identified by a common domain name and published on at least one web server. So the example of website is Wikipedia organization, Google.com, and Amazon.com. So as a student, in teacher education, you spend longer time surfing in the internet to do your schoolwork, homework, and other research activities. So if you are looking for a specific knowledge or information, it can create as a confusion on your part because you cannot tell which of these sites the correct information or data you need. So according to Abdullah, 1998, he suggests the following checklist derived from the summary of criteria for evaluating websites. First is the technical consideration include among others the website factor capabilities such as use of graphics and animation relevant to the subject. So when we say technical consideration, it involves the source of language, the skill of sets of your organization and the website. So next, the purpose or the objective of the website should be clearly stated on what should support of the purpose. So it should define whether the purpose is to entertain, advertise, or evangelize. Third is the content should be comprehensive and easily to understood by the visitors of the site. So this information should be current and updated. So next is the authorship and sponsorship are relevant information that should be in every authentic site, name of individual or group responsible for creating a site. So isa po na to nilang tawon ang authorship, kung ang kaning if this author is authorized ba na tama ihang in mga information dito sa website. So functionality covers the use of appropriate language in messages and it should be clearly stated and easily understood by the visitor of the site. Then itong functionality, it is the same for the purpose, kay hindi din ito tingnan ang mga appropriate language na gi-include then if it's easily understood by the visitor of the site. Next is the design is one of the criteria that can hold visitors' attention. It should be simple and appealing to the intended audience. The design elements and features of the site, like the searchable database, animation, graphics, sound files, and traditional pages, should be clearly labeled. So in all that I mentioned is the evaluation criteria where all elements make up a website. According to Alexander and Tati in 1996 to 1998, he cited 5 criteria for evaluating web resources, namely the authority, accuracy, objectivity, currency, and coverage. So first is the accuracy. So in the accuracy, how reliable and free from error is the information, and are there editors and fact checkers in the website? Almost anyone can publish on the web. So we need to look for if the information is reliable and if there's an editors and checkers in the website. Second is the authority. So what are the author's qualification for writing on the subject? How reputable is the publisher? It is often difficult to determine authorship of web resources. When we say authority, diba, it is a power or control in a particular. Then if we check in the website, let us check if the authors reach the qualification for writing a subject. So third is the objectivity. Is the information presented with minimum of bias? To what extent does the information outweigh the opinion of the web visitor? So web often function as a virtual soapbox. The goal or the aims for the person or a group presenting the material are often not clearly stated. So next is the currency. Is the content of the work up to date, or is the publication date clearly indicated? So the date are not always being included on web pages. So when we say currency, so let us look if the work is current and update. A date may have a various meanings such as date from created. Next is the date placed on web. Third is the date last revised. Lastly is the coverage. What topics are included in the work? To what depth are topics explored? So web coverage may differ from point or other media coverage. It is often hard to determine the extent of web coverage. So, and that's all will be. Thank you.
Good morning, classmates. Good morning, sir. My name is Arthur Nanias Batukal. My report is all about the challenges of web resources. Challenges web resources and the responding coping strategy. First, use of hypertext link. The quality web page linked to original web page may vary. High quality web page may be linked to poor quality web page. Therefore, evaluate each web page independently. Second, use of frame. Each frame a separate web page. Each frame should likewise be evaluated separately. Third, search engine can retrieve pages out of context. Always try to return to home page to determine the source of information. Fourth, marketing-oriented web pages. In other media, there are usually clear and audio distinction between advertising and information. In the distinction between advertising and information can become extreme blur. Try to determine if advertising and information contexts are supplied by the same person or organization. 5. Blending of entertainment, information, and advertising. The web has brought informational concept to new high. Number 6. Software requirements may limit access. Full of access may require additional software. Browser may alter the appearance of web page. be our software limitation may alter how much information is obtained or alter appearance of information obtained. Lastly is stability of web page. Page may move or disappear. Without use may not be able to refer back to a web page. Try to determine the stability of your source. Documents the source to the fullest context of possible. The development of evaluation techniques for web page resources is an ongoing process. The continuation emergency of new technology is outpassing the ability to create standard and guidelines. However, the 5 traditional web evaluation techniques developed by Alexander and Tate 1996, updated in 2001, can serve as basic in determining the authenticity of web resources. Again, my name is Arthur Nanyas Batukal. I am the last reporter of Group 1. My report, again, is all about the challenges of web resources. Thank you for your watching.